Going on? Yeah, guys. So it appears, Sean Diddy Combs is cooked. Um, and I was kind of thinking, how should I really approach this situation, right? Because the crazy thing about this thing is this, right? He's been accused of a lot of things over the years, right? They've been a host of different rumors, kind of going on about P Diddy for a very, very long time. I always hear about things that was going on behind the scenes, um, with a lot of hold on one second. Let me make sure I get this right. All right, cool. A lot of things that were going on behind the scenes in regards to some of the things that he was doing at his parties. Because even though he invited a lot of celebrities, right, sometimes there's going to be word on the street as well. There are going to be some people that somehow they gain some sort of access or some sort of knowledge about the ins and outs of what's going on, right? Some people, when you're inviting so many different people, right, it's bound to get out what's happening at some of these parties. What's going on, Roxanne? Big up yourself, Roxanne. Thank you so much for joining. I sincerely do appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel so much. And great morning. I'm doing really good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Wooby says, "What's happening? What's up, Wooby? What's going on?" Pleasure to see you guys. An absolute pleasure to see you. Both of you guys. Make sure you guys are also liking the video as well. Enough love to you and your podcast. Thank you so much, Roxanne. That means absolutely everything coming from you, especially. And yeah, I just want to make you guys proud. You know, absolute pleasure. We are spreading peace, joy, and love. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we on to. And as you guys do know, September is the month of gratitude. So there's a whole lot that we have to be grateful for. Be grateful that you're not in, that you didn't plant the seeds that P. Diddy planted. Be grateful. And this isn't an indictment against him, right? Because it is, but it isn't, right? But it's like, is there any, what was I gonna say? I'm trying to play the devil's advocate, but it's very difficult for me to do it because, um, I, on one hand, I wasn't at any of these parties, right? So I don't know what it is that's happening at any of these parties, right? I don't know any of the people that are involved directly. Um, on the other hand, I look at it like this, right? Some of it, I believe some of it, there's a possibility that some of it is true. Some of it, I believe some of it is also some people that, because they realize the amount of money this guy has, and they realize that they can also sort of get like a come up, they're also putting in some false narratives as well. So there's those schools of thought. So now heart goes out to all of the victims that were involved in these situations, right? Because we're hearing allegations of people getting drugged, and that's never okay, right? It's never okay to force somebody to engage in these acts, or to drug these people, or to blackmail these people, which is also something that's going on as well. Congratulations on being 1,000 subscription. Yeah, you go, man. Thank you so much. Big up to it's not even just me, Roxanne. Thank you so much, because this is you guys out there that are subscribing. That's keeping me motivated, keeping me, getting up here and continuing to do this over and over and over, and just the consistency. You know what I mean? I love doing it. Brittany Escobar, welcome, welcome, welcome. Someone says, what hairstyle is that called? I believe it's a two-strand twist. The unique thing about it is this, right, guys? Because this costs $150 to do, right? So I'm not gonna pay someone $150 to do this. So I just learned how to do it myself, right? So it's just really two-strand twist. The back is probably not as neat, right? But yeah, I just do it myself. They call it two-strand twist. Jamaicans call it rope twist. It's a style that they've been wearing in Jamaica for a very long time. It's been popularized. in recent years. But yeah, that's what it's called. I've been trying to reach you about your vehicles. Okay, OG. All right. Okay. User says thank you. Nah, thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome, Brittany Escobar. Welcome, welcome. It's my first time seeing you. Glad to have you here. Sincerely appreciate that. Stay away from my cats. You hear me? This guy's trolling about the cats. Yeah, because the cat situation it was already falsified, guys. So that's a non-factor. You need to stay away from your cats, right? I'm starting not to trust you around cats, right? You're projecting a lot of energy in different ways. So can you be trusted around cats? I think you need to look in the mirror. The real Jamaican Mark Hanley says justice for Diddy? Wait, justice for Diddy? Hold on, Mark Hanley. Mark Hanley. What about justice for the victims? What about justice for the people that were drugged? For the people that, were getting recorded against their will as well, right? For the people that didn't consent to a lot of the things that did happen that Diddy was in. What about those people? Unless you don't believe that. But again, these are things that's been like we've been hearing rumors about this stuff since I was a teenager. So yeah, there you have it. With the P. Diddy issue, I believe that he is guilty, says Roxanne. Ooh. Because of some of the things Usher, Justin Bieber, and countless others has said. I didn't hear what Justin Bieber or Usher said, to be honest with you. Also, the way in which he treated his female partners. Yeah, there could be some truth to that based on the evidence that we've seen as well. And now, guys, we can't put these things to like the everyday sort of issues that you have in your household with your girlfriend, right? It's not ordinary for you to do some of the things that Diddy has done to not only his significant others, but some of his artists and some other people that he just wanted to keep under his power. And then in the title, you see sabotaged by his own ego. Was it really his ego? Was it his ego? Right? That's the cause of all of this, right? The power, you start to gain this power and the notoriety, and then it starts to go to your head. And then you start to think you're invincible, right? And then you take it up another notch, and then you decide, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna do what I see other people that are out here doing, because these are not new things that are happening, right? The Weinsteins, the Epstein, is the Epstein? I believe so, right? These things are not new, right? The Vince McMahon, R. Kelly, and these are just the ones that we hear about, right? Bill Cosby. These things are not new, guys. These things have been happening for a very long time. But the thing is, with this day and age, you can't just do these things, right? And just feel as if you're just gonna get away scotch-free, right? And we just live in a time right now where it's just best for you to just be transparent. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, we just live in the information age, guys. So it's one of those things that, you plant the seeds, right? And based on your ego, you start to amass all of this power. Think about all the things that Diddy has done in terms of hip hop and, just being a mogul and sort of being a trailblazer toward like with the East Coast hip hop, right? With the whole Biggie situation, Mary J. Blige, involved with the Locks, involved with all types of different people, Mariah Carey, you name it, right? He's worked with these people in some capacity, right? Amassed a whole bunch of wealth to the point where he became worth a billion, right? Or at least a billion, right? Something around that ballpark, right? So whether it's a billion or just under or a little over, round around that ballpark, right? But you come from absolutely nothing. You amassed all this wealth, right? And then things like that, and then people or they appreciate you and putting you on a pedestal, right? So things like that could really inflate egos of some people, right? When Jay-Z said the fame is the worst drug known to man, right? When people start to acquire this level of fame, it's almost as if they feel, right, this level of entitlement, this level of just ego, right? And this inflated ego. And what starts to happen is you start to abuse your power, right? Because now you're the one that's calling the shots. Now, all right, if you don't do what I say, you're not gonna have this opportunity, right? So yeah, there's a lot that did go on behind the scenes, guys. But you know, I wasn't there, so you know, it's just one of those things as well. Hey, are you religious? Nah. Stay away from Diddy, says Eric Algreta. I wasn't planning on visiting him. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. English or Spanish, both. Diddy or didn't he? You know, we're gonna find out. We're surely gonna find out. V Live says yes. What about innocent until proven guilty? Says the real Jamaican Mark Hanley. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. That's why, you know, I don't have the authority or the, you know, I'm not trying to indict the man, right? But what we're talking about right now is pretty much public opinion, right? And some of the things that we have seen, we've seen something on videotape, right? We've actually seen that, right? That's not like a hearsay sort of situation. And initially he denied that, right? And then eventually he settled something in court where he gave her what, like $50 million or something along those lines. You know, and various other things. Like it's not today that people started calling Puffy's name in some of these things, right? It's not brand new. Like these things have been happening for quite some time now. You know what I mean? Never seen hair like yours, says AC. Thank you so much, AC. I appreciate that. I never seen a dog like that in your profile. What kind of dog is that? Big up yourself. We are not going there tonight. The cat argument, we will not be on that tonight because we already know that this is false. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I got a new food truck in Ohio. It's called Hot Dog. I sell teriyaki, hushed puppies. Okay. And a New Yorkie strip. OG, I don't find that funny at all. And to be honest with you, I'll see you later. You can have a good night. Yeah, you don't need to be here with comments like that, to be honest with you. He dragged her, says AC. Yeah. OG is crazy, says Matt. You're absolutely right about that. And OG is no longer here. Unless someone proves that the video in the hotel hallway was fake, that's simply all I need to know to decide he is not a guy deserving of money and power, says V Live. Yeah, inflated ego. And he's not the only one with money and power with that inflated ego. Like I've seen instances at you know, at places that I've been employed where people have just gotten like a basic supervisor or a managerial role and they use that to their advantage to take advantage of women, to take advantage of various different people, right? You know, it's the situation. I'm not gonna get too in detail about it, man. Maybe in the future I'll tell you about something that I saw happening at my workplace that involved two individuals. One person that was a manager is no longer here, and then there was another person that was here as well. But maybe in the future. I don't think you guys are ready for that one yet, so we're just gonna, you know, leave that one out. But yeah, that was when I heard about that situation, I was actually more shocked than I should have been because I saw the signs, guys. Like I really saw the sign, really saw that there was something going on, but I chose to ignore it. I chose to be like, to convince myself that I didn't see what I saw, right? And even though it wasn't blatant out and open, because so much of communication is nonverbal, guys, I was picking up on the nonverbal cues, right? I was picking up on the nonverbal cues, and I figured out that something was going on between these two people, right? But I decided, you know what? Because I ain't got no evidence, I'm gonna just go ahead and fall back, right? And then months upon months later, I realized that I was kind of onto something, right? I was onto something. Cecilia, hold on, pardon me. Villa Lobo says no power. Brother, are you a philosopher? Hell on wheels. No, Hell on wheels. I'm not. Mental power issues. Money pays. We created this. Mental power issues. Cecilia, I think you're onto something when you talk about that. But it's not just mental. It's spiritual. It's vibrational as well, right? Because before it even enters the brain, um, it definitely comes from, I want to say, a deranged place, right? But that's more of a third dimensional perspective, right? But it comes from somewhere dark. It comes from a dark trauma, a dark, deep insecurity. Um, it comes from deep wounds in the soul, right? For someone to do some of the things that P. Diddy is being accused of doing, right? So it's one of those things. Like, I'm not here to condemn um, him until we actually have evidence that some of these things were happening. Um, but as far as, opinion goes, people are going to have their opinions about the situation, right? But again, I'm not going to jump the gun to say, all right, yeah, he did it or he didn't do it. But guys, it's like I said, man, these are things, like, especially knowing that these things were actually really happening, because I was hearing about it long before the indictments. But again, much like that situation at work, I didn't really want to believe it, right? Didn't really want to believe it. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Usher said that he would not let his kids around him, and Justin Bieber sang about his experience with him. Wow, I did not know that. I'm gonna have to actually look into that. Need to make money less powerful and stop greed, says Cecilia Villalobos. What are your suggestions? Interesting that you would say that. What are some of your suggestions? The crazy thing about it is this, right? The money is not really backed by anything, right? And USA being the world's sort of um, reserve currency, right? But it isn't backed by anything at all either. Um, but yeah, even in a world of money, you still can't sell your morals. You still can't sell your soul. You understand what I'm saying? And don't allow people with power and, influence and this level of authority and stuff like that to infiltrate your own soul or to violate you in any way, shape, or form, right? Um, but it's one of those things. People put these people on a pedestal. They put Puffy on a pedestal, or they did in the past, right? They put, all types of celebrities. I don't even want to name too many other people in this, because I don't really want to associate them with this, to be honest with you. But it's one of those things, guys. You put these people on a pedestal and you feel as if, they have it all figured out because they have the money, because they have the power, because they have the authority, because they can put you in a position to win, right? So some people are willing to do absolutely anything that it takes in order to acquire that level of what they would deem to be success. But really what it is just the perception of people around you, right? What matters, and I tell people this all the time, what matters most is your perception of yourself, right? Because oftentimes people will give you fake love, fake adoration. It doesn't come from anywhere genuine, right? It comes from somewhere where it's like, oh, because, right, now that you've acquired this money and this fame and these positions and all of that sort of stuff, right? You now have people that want to get next to you because of the clout that you have. They want to get next to you because you could put them in a position to win. They want to get next to you because you have opportunity, right? So what are people willing to do a lot of times? Hey, how you doing? And be all nice to you and all of that sort of stuff, when really deep down in their heart, they ain't with you like that, right? And then in some instances, some of these people that do have power, they're able to see through it, right? And maybe in some cases, some of these people want power. And then in other cases, they just accepted that this is how things are, right? And because they've accepted this is how things are, and they have a way of sort of, using their authority to get, using who they are to get what it is that they want, they convince themselves, right, that they're bigger than any other program, right? Just with this inflated ego, right? And when you've been doing something for so long and been getting away with it, You feel as if it's gonna go on forever, so you keep doing it, right? But the indictment, guys, it really it describes someone again. I'm gonna use the word again, deranged. It really describes someone that's really deranged, to be honest with you. And I don't know if why after you amass so much wealth and power, right? I don't know. For me, I look at it like this: if I get to that place in my life, I'm gonna go somewhere quiet. I'm gonna get away from all of this, right? I'm gonna go somewhere quiet, stay away from the BS, take care of my family, make sure that everybody's okay, and I'm out of sight, out of mind, right? Other people, they don't know what to do with it, right? They don't know what to do with it. So they're, they want to still be in the mix. You want to still do these freak offs and this, that, and the third, right? Nah, man. Nah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know why people do those things, but, it is what it is. There comes a time when your past will catch up to you, says Roxanne. You're absolutely right. The seeds that you plant, you reap what you sow. That's just how this world goes. I tell people about the spiritual world all the time. It's just like when you plant an orange seed, you will receive an orange, or you will receive a multitude of oranges. You don't just get one orange back, right? So whatever you plant, whatever you reap whatever you sow, right? So that's how it goes. Hell yeah, says Vash. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of that. I haven't looked into it, but what about his environment growing up? Who and what were his influences? I don't think fame and ego made him an abusive person. Um, I think some of it has to do with how he grew up as well. I believe his father was, it's reported that his father was supposedly a gangster. I guess he worked with one of those guys that were in the movie American Gangster. I don't remember if it was Nicky Barnes or the other guy. I don't quite remember what it. Frank Lucas. I don't remember who it was, but I believe he worked alongside one of those individuals as well. But I believe he passed away when Diddy was really really young, so Diddy didn't really get to know much of his father. So I do believe that he grew up with a single mom. Um, I don't know what the relationship was between him and his mother. I don't know how intense his mom was. But even then, right? A lot of times the thing is this, and not everyone is able to do this, right? And not every situation is the same. Some people are able to recover from these situations better than other people can, right? So some people go through some traumatic experiences in their childhood, and it gets difficult for them to really come to grips with those situations that have happened to them, right? So now, when it becomes difficult for you to come to grips with it, when it becomes difficult for you to come to grips with these situations, now what seems to happen is these things get it's like it's just stuffed into your subconscious, and you try not to think about it, but it still bothers you, and it affects you when you walk around, right? It affects you because now it's becoming a part of your character, right? You haven't really come to grips with it, you haven't come to terms with it, you haven't shaken off the past yet. And I think there's a lot of people that are walking around right now with trauma, generational trauma, um, trauma from their childhood, and haven't really shaked it off yet. But Diddy wasn't really like the guys that knew Diddy before the fame. He wasn't really a gangster, right? They talked about it. His ex bodyguard spoke about it. There's this one guy, Jamaican guy who used to Mecca Audio. He spoke about it, right? I've seen some of his, him on his channel and stuff like that. He's sort of, I believe he's the one that got Diddy into booking or doing parties, right? Um, but not these kind of parties, right? It just evolved because he had then went to prison for about 26 years, and he just came out recently, like a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, not sure when. But yeah, none of these guys say that Diddy was any of this gangster, any of that sort of stuff when he didn't have the money. Um, you know, so yeah, we could only go off of what all of these other guys that were in the street are saying. So yeah, I think the trauma comes from somewhere else, right? I don't think it necessarily comes directly from just his childhood. I think that was a part of it, but I think his ego started to get inflated, and maybe the type of person that he was, right, prior to the wealth, prior to the money, the type of person that he was, maybe that's what contributed to him being this sort of person once he got the money, right? And maybe what he had to do to get the money. We didn't look into that either, right? What did he have to do in order to get the money, right? Did he, because when people speak about selling your soul, they don't mean figure or literally, selling your soul, right? They mean you going against your own sort of morals, right? Or your own sort of structure, your own code, in order to become someone that you aspire to quote unquote be, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. Like some people, it doesn't matter what they have to do for money, they're gonna do it for money. Some people, it doesn't matter what they have to do for fame, they're gonna do it for fame, right? So what did he have to do to kind of get his start, right? And who did he have to be up under as well? I think those people as well. There's questions that could be asked about those people as well, and I think that's where you could kind of start the investigation yourself if you want. How did he really break into the industry and kind of get his start with the money and the finances and all of that sort of stuff? Who was he up under, and what did he have to do in order to sort of gain that level of favor? You understand what I'm saying? So and then maybe once he did what he did, and we're just speculating here, we don't have any concrete evidence that this is what happened, but we're speculating. Maybe after he did what he did, he decided, you know what, now I'm gonna do this to other people as well, because this is what it takes, right? So it's one of those things. It could be a multitude of different things why he started to evolve into that person that we started to see him become. You know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows, right? He causes a lot of pain and suffering to people in the music industry. I think she's saying he caused a lot of pain, right? Well, um, maybe and beyond too, right? I'm happy God and Tech are watching. Who's Tech? Who's Tech? I don't know who's Tech. Tech, who's Tech? If you're good, only goodness will follow you, says Roxanne. Roxanne. Well, I think the thing is this, right? So we live in a world of duality, right? So to say if you are good, only good will follow you, it depends on your perspective as well. So yeah, there is some truth to what it is that you're saying, because you see the good even in the negative things as well, right? That happen to you. It's almost as if you look at it as something that's happening for you, right? As opposed to happening against you. You get what I'm saying? So that being said, just like how you have night, right? You also have day, right? And in the daytime, the sun's out, it's bright, right? Sometimes you have rain, sometimes you have a tornado, you might have a hurricane, you might have a snowstorm, you might have just mild weather, right? You might have a hurricane, a earthquake, volcano. You never know what to really expect, right? So to say, and it's I don't disagree with you, right? But to say when you're good, only good follows you, I think it depends mainly on your perspective and your perception of what it is that's taking place around you. And just looking at those things, well, all right, cool. This happened, but you know what? I'm able to brush it off. I'm able to move forward. I'm able to try to, shift my perspective towards something more positive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it as well. We need to change the use and turn it for good. I'm sick of drama. Absolutely. Cecilia, I agree with everything that you're saying tonight, and I appreciate you sharing your perspective with us as well. I sincerely do. He's in for a long walk in the park, says Roxanne. Man, you know what's crazy? I'm not even really sitting up. I'm laughing at the joke, not the person, but I just can't loan my sympathy to them, right? I can't loan my sympathy to people that do these things to other people. Um, and it's not like a one-off thing where he made a mistake and did something by mistake, right? This is consistent behavior that he's done over a period of time. So yeah, this is dangerous behavior. It's dangerous to the people that he's around. It's dangerous behavior to himself. He's endangering other people. So you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, man. Yeah, you know. Eric Kane, big up yourself. Your video has paused. Has it? Is it still paused or am I still going? OGEWE. This isn't nothing new. This goes way back in time with Shirley Temple, Marlon Brando, far back since the 20s and 30s. Maybe even before then, man. Before even there was Hollywood, man. People were doing a lot of crazy things, guys. Yeah, these things aren't new, right? If you're religious, you probably heard of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? You've heard of Babylon, and I'm not talking about the one over there in Long Island, right? Um, so yeah, these things aren't new, but it doesn't change the fact that these things need to be addressed. And yeah, I think this should show people that are doing these things behind closed doors that yeah, it doesn't matter how powerful you are, how rich you are, and for me, it goes higher than just Diddy as well, right? You're not gonna get away with doing these things to people, right? If you're making your money and you've made your money and you're doing things philanthropist, you're helping other people, or you made your money and you've gone off and you're out of the way. You know what I mean? I don't have any qualms with that, man. But don't use your power and influence and don't allow those things to make you feel as if you're better than other people because money and power and influence does not make you better than other people, right? That's not what makes you. Nothing is going to make. We're all human beings. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So there's no such thing as better than, right? Um, we're all just energy expressing itself in different ways, guys. So yeah, it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Everyone has his or her own opinion regarding to Diddy. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, you weren't capping. They're not on to nothing. You are Cap God. No, it doesn't, says Tiriz TV. I don't even know if he knows what he's talking about. Um, I believe they would not have him in the palm of their hands if they did not have strong evidence. Yeah, I think when they did that raid back in March or so, I think they did come up with some substantial amount of evidence, some substantial amount of things. Um, I think they raided two of his homes from my memory, or at least two of his homes. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, he got raided back then, and they found some evidence, and then what I'm seeing and what it is that they're saying, right, is that some of the weapons that they found as well, because they found weapons, they found oil, lubricant, all types of stuff. And some of the weapons that they found had the serial numbers were defaced, right? And that in itself is a crime. That in itself is a crime. V Live says, I personally do not think the money is at all the cause. These type of people exist everywhere in every one of our daily lives. But who wants to hear about our average Joe small town USA? I'm not saying these types of people are not everywhere, right? I'm not saying that these type of people, no one's saying that, right? What we're saying is once you acquire, right? If so, let's say you give that type of money or that type of money the person earns or is given this sort of money opportunity influence. What do you think this type of person is going to do on a large scale? Now they're not doing it small time anymore. They're doing it on a larger scale now, right? So it's not saying that it's just something that's exclusive to him because he has money, right? And that there aren't other people that are doing this. Like, we've acknowledged that these things are not new, right? So big up yourself though for your perspective as well. Thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate that. V Live, I appreciate it. I wonder where they are holding him at. I don't think they're holding him at Rock. No, I don't think they're holding him at Rockers. I'm not entirely sure. It's probably some federal facility. Um, I want to interview him to get his side of this coin. Will he be honest? He had apologized for his behavior toward his partner. Um, will he? Will he? I mean, I'm not even entirely sure, to be honest with you. I think his defense is already there. Like, he's already saying that he's innocent. So it's one of those things. I don't think he's going to be doing an interview. I don't think his lawyer would want him to do an interview, right? I don't think that would be something that his lawyer would suggest that he does. Um, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the crazy part about it. I definitely think that there's strong possibility that there's at least some truth. But like I said before, I do believe that there are some people as well that may be saying something because, you know what? This could be our meal ticket. This could be our way of really making something happen for our family. So it's one of those things, you know what I mean? People are looking at it from various different perspectives, guys. Yes, the money and fame definitely fuels the fire, says V Live. Totally agree with your plan to get enough and go to your dream life, but we can't be the first to swear to this. My guess is the best laid plans. Okay, all right, V Live. Yeah, I mean, I hear what it is that you're saying, but I know myself, right? I know the things that I like to do, and to be fair, I do like to travel as well, and I do like to experience culture. I do like to experience different places, but more than anything else, I also enjoy my own company. I also enjoy peace. I also enjoy just, being away from drama as well. And I don't do crowds, right? So for me, there's not going to be any big time party happening in my crib like that, right? Once in a blue, maybe, rent somewhere and invite some friends over or something like that, or invite some people over to network. But especially inviting people to your home, that's a big no-no. When you want all, you lose all. He created an issue for Biggie Smalls and others, says Roxanne. His ego was very, very high. He thinks that he is all that and more because he stole from others to be where he is. Let's see where it will take him after this. He was accused of doing certain things, certain underhanded business tactics, but you know, not entirely sure. I can't really speak on that. Be good and good will follow you. Even if his dad was bad, he didn't have to take the road. He didn't have to take that road. Money, power. Now he is locked up and even denied bail. Yeah, man. Once you get an inflated ego and you're doing certain things, you feel as if because you haven't gotten caught or because nothing has happened to you at this point, it's never gonna happen. So it might even encourage you or influence you to do even more of that same act, right? Because you believe that you're just above the program, right? And then your sense of empathy starts to just really dwindle, right? And what some people call reality, your sense of reality is just not there anymore, right? So now you're off into this bubble world, where you're now Mr. Untouchable. And Diddy is not the only person. There's plenty of people, right, that have thought this in the past. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever else his name he went by, he was abusive to others. He called these things that he was doing freak off. Yeah, he definitely called it that. For sure. It's sad that he had gotten the keys to the city of New York a few years back. And now are they going to be taking it? I think they've already taken the key back, Roxanne. They've already taken it back. Biggie Small's mom accused him of her son's death. Yeah, there's some people that are accusing him of that as well. These videos are the evidence that they are using against him. Who knows? Who knows what will even become of that situation? To be honest with you, I've heard that, but again, it's one of those things I can't substantiate because I wasn't there. Moreover, I was like 7 or something like that, 6 when that situation happened. I hope Justin Bieber testifies against them. Says AR Patriot. Who knows, man? Who knows? You know he did inappropriate things with 16-year-old Justin Bieber. Says AR Patriot. Man, you know, there could be, right? But guys, yeah, someone just reminded me through text message. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as well. Someone just texted that to my phone, and I just seen it pop up at the top. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like you know, Roxanne is here saying that there was a case of, you know, Justin Bieber and Usher kind of coming out and saying, yeah, this guy did and said these things. But I just haven't heard it, right? So if anyone could actually provide me with some evidence, or maybe I'll just go and research and listen to some of this stuff myself to find out if these are things that actually really happened. But you know, that's quite sad, man, because even how I see Justin Bieber now, you know, the limit was beyond the sky for the kid, right? Like him, Lady Gaga, but him, because he had such a big following, right? In terms of, especially with the girls, it was Chris Brown and Justin Bieber, right? Like they, you know, all the girls love those two people, right? So you know, and just the way he kind of just has fallen off, right? Would you consider this a fall off? We don't hear much about him anymore. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, could it have been because of the way how he broke through into the industry? Because when you think about it, right? When you think about it, I believe Usher is the one that discovered Justin Bieber, right? And remember, Usher used to be around Diddy when he was young. That part I do know, right? But I don't know if it's the same sort of thing that happened with Justin Bieber as well. But yeah, I did see something where one thing that I did see was when they were on camera and Justin Bieber was really nervous around Diddy, and Diddy was saying something along the lines of, "Oh, you haven't called me back yet," or this, that, or the third, or whatever it is. And the kid just seemed extremely nervous and uneasy around him. So I don't know. There may be something towards it, but again, guys, I don't know. We just have to see, you know, what it is that happened. We can assume, but sometimes when we assume, we could be, you know, making a fool of ourselves by assuming something. But it could be, and sometimes you know, it could be. There could be some truth to that, right? There could be some truth to it, but I don't know. Someone says, listen to Orlando Brown or Jaguar. No. Probably not going to listen to Orlando Brown because Orlando Brown says a lot of really just reckless things. I think, yeah. But Jaguar, right, she has said some things that I've heard, some quite damning things that she said before. There are 49 people as evidence against him. This is according to CNN. 49 people as of right now. It's going to go away just like Epstein. What do you mean? It's going to go away just like Epstein. Who's the one that passed away in his cell? Was that Epstein? Epstein passed away, or was it Weinstein? Was it? It was Epstein. Yeah, I believe it was. I believe it was him, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, especially if this is something that could kind of link people that have more power and influence than Diddy to these situations. And those people are scared that he's gonna flip. Like, who knows? Who knows what could actually transpire as a result of this, right? But yeah, you know, it's one of those things. One thing to remember though, with God, no one is too far gone, says AR Patriot. Big up yourself, AR Patriot, and thank you so much for sharing. I sincerely do appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah. BB Rel, love emoji. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That one dude says hi. Please, please. Yo, what's up? Big up yourself. I believe that he has fallen from grace, says Roxanne. Could be a lot of truth to what it is that you're saying, Roxanne. Fallen from grace. Yeah, I believe so too. Justin Bieber distanced himself from him. This must be a. I believe that they are going to use Jaguar as strong evidence. She seems to have a lot to say about him. We all fall short of the glory of God, says AR Patriot. Yeah, guys, I think you guys definitely have some quite unique perspectives, and I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys and everything that you guys have said tonight. I kind of just wanted to do this stream and give my 2 cents about what it is that I feel has been going on with this whole Diddy situation. I hope you guys have been liking and subscribing to the channel as well. I do appreciate each and every one of you who has done that. I'm actually thinking, because I'm on vacation for the rest of the week. I'm on vacation until next week sometime, right? But tomorrow I got to get some service done to the car. But I may be traveling, right? And while I'm traveling, I am going to pull up in maybe like some random cities, do some streams and stuff like that, kind of show you guys, maybe do like some vlogs and stuff like that, kind of show you guys where I'm at and what cities that I'm in. So you guys do stay tuned for that. I don't know where this journey is going to take me yet. I'm thinking about the Grand Canyon, but I'm also thinking that may be a little bit too far. So maybe I'll go to the Rocky Mountain, which is a little bit nearer. Maybe go to like Colorado, go see what's happening with that city. You know, yeah. So I don't know yet though. I don't know yet. So I will keep you guys posted on where it is that I'm plan on going, but I don't think I'm don't expect me to post my location of where exactly I'm at, right? Like this is just not gonna happen. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. We all have to have forgiveness in our hearts and spoken from our mouth. he says, stay away from Aurora. I don't even know where Aurora is. Roxanne says safe travels. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Definitely will be safe travels. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm mainly looking forward to it, and because I get to show you guys like what it is that's happening. You know what I mean? I think that's the. And also, yeah, look, I've wanted to go to the Grand Canyon since forever, right? But I don't even think I'm in a really good. It's just too far to drive there, to be honest with you. I can, but then I have to come back. Like if I had let's say I had like 2 weeks vacation, maybe 2 or 3 weeks vacation, like I would go there, right? But it's just not, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend all of my vacation. I don't want to spend that much of my vacation driving. You know what I mean? Oh, Aurora, Colorado. I definitely heard of Aurora. I've definitely heard of that place. But why stay away from it? What's happening in Aurora? That's what they could have came up with a better name than Aurora. 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 It's like they tried to find the most difficult thing to actually say. Aurora. Does it have a nickname? Does that place have a nickname? They called it AC. Big up to Aurora. But yeah, I just can't say that name too often. Aurora. Yeah, guys, but yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything that I feel about that. Oh, Denver, Aurora. Oh, okay. But yeah, but what's happening? What's happening there? What's so bad about Denver? That's the Mile High City. It's like Dallas, Fort Worth. What's wrong with Denver? That's supposed to be the Mile High City. Um, you know, Venezuelan gangs. Man, ain't nobody scared of no Venezuelan gangs, man. Not that they're listen, man. Can't live your life in fear of these people, man. They're people just like everyone else, right? Yeah, Okay. It's like Dallas Fort Worth. It was a joke, really. I figured it was a joke. I figured it was a joke. But let me check out. I'm gonna type in something real quick. Denver. So if anybody's been to Denver, is the city really like on a mountain, or is it not really on a mountain? You know what I mean? It very far driving. If you go by train, let them do the driving for you while you sleep. But then when I get there, right? If I like, let's say that. All right. So look at this, right? So let's say I take the train, right? You got to pay for the train ticket. Then when you get there, you got to rent a car. Then you got to like rent a hotel or like um like an Airbnb or something, um, right? In which you could just like if you drive there, it's like that covers the car situation, so that when you do go there, you don't have to go rent a car. You don't, you know what I mean? Like it's not a right. So I don't know, and I don't want to be like I really want to go there and actually enjoy the place. You know what I mean? I really do. But I understand that it's very far driving. It's really over a mile above sea level. Amtrak has comfortable coaches. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, Roxanne. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. But yeah, it's probably not. That's probably not going to be how I'm going to do it. It's probably not going to be what it is. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate each and every single one of you. I will be back again tomorrow, right? I'm gonna try to get everything sorted out as early as possible. When I do plan on, leaving, right? I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I just gotta get the car situated first before I do dip out. So thank you guys so much for tapping in, tuning in. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe. Be kind to yourself. Say something nice to yourself. Meditate. Do all the good things and be grateful that you still have life. Yeah, subscribe, like. Have a blessed one. I'll see you guys again later. Bye-bye.